a lot off. Most of that came from the bottom or the back. Although it's not, it's like summerish outside. This is where cream, this is the season where you start cream because it's getting cooler.
Gotcha.
So it's like your jacket or your winter coat or thermal underwear. So it locks in the moisture a little better because there's not a lot of moisture in the air. So we're only wetting it to let it revert. All right, we're using a pea size. We're using a pea size of cream per section. You can use like 2 whole pumps for her whole head. You can do it that way. But just a pea size per section. And you're brushing it through. And the excess you're just taking out because we don't want it soaking wet. This is why people's, their wash and goes turn out real frizzy or poofy, puffy because there's too much cream in it. And in the summer, you won't even need it. Her hair's a little bit drier, so we're using a little more than a pea size for this section. And a little less on the sides.
Come on.
Yes, baby.
Let me get your face.
Because I'm getting angry at something someone's telling me. Sorry.
Hmm.
Just at school, something with school. Not you, honey, but just about the event we're doing at school.
Ishmael does that to me too. He's like, Mom, you okay?
Well, we're doing this huge cultural night at school from the Capital District Black community. We're bringing in a bunch of groups.
Yeah.
And we're trying to invite our community, and I'm on the diversity committee, and we're paying for this whole event. And I've just found out that the person doing the performers has close to 100 people coming between performers and family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but then it's not allowing us to include the people at our school
Oh,
who we're doing this for, and we're paying for it. And it's like, you don't usually invite the performers to be part of your event. They are in a separate room.
And you didn't.
And
You wouldn't think that.
Meal,
you wouldn't think that you would have to even tell them that.
Yeah, and I'm like, you have 84 people coming between performers and their parents. I'm like, they're college kids. It's like,
yeah.
Why are you inviting parents?
I would say no.
Right. But now it's like spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, so we have to shut down the people from the school community because we're paying for it. From our budget. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to shut our community
I know they're
out.
Happy and, excited about them performing.
Right, but it's like, I can't shut out the people from our community to have the performers be part of the event. And that's not how it works. So
see how I'm using the comb to smooth it out?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I put that exactly like that. And then I comb it through.
And you want to break it down.
Yeah.
And finish with your fingers.
Yeah.
They can't see this side yet, but.
Yeah, that's what I do. Exactly what you're doing.
And if it's okay if it shrinks.
Okay.
Because that's why your holding product is there. Because it's like adhesive. Right. Once you warm the adhesive back up, it's more malleable.
Because this is what we were doing at first. I was doing her whole head, combing through, putting the gel, just like you're doing. Then I would just dry it afterwards, the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
You want to see, bud? Here, bud. Buddy? You want to see? So that's what we were doing at first, but then I wasn't,
And hers won't take as long because her hair is very smooth. I'm going to actually move. No, I'll be on that side in a second. See, I'm breaking it down. Not really paying attention to the edges yet, because they're going to revert since it's still a little moist. So I'm just going to leave that as is. So I have not used a Nutra tint or whatever, but what I am using. Yes, I have a few in stock, and I try to keep it for the people that are coming in.
Oh, yes.
There's really nothing comparable. I'll put a few back in stock today, because I do have some. Like for her, there's other gels that she can use, but this will be the most reliable for lifestyle. So Mom doesn't have to do her hair again throughout the week. See how foamy that is? We don't want that. Yeah. That's too much. There's too much water in there.
Gotcha. Yeah, we t-shirt towel dry it first.
Yep,
And
you
get
can do
a lot
that.
of the moisture out that
Mm-hmm.
we can before I do the gel, so it's pretty.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
actually,
dry,
you can do
but
the cream first, brush it through because the water will help that along,
gotcha.
and then it'll take out the excess, that you don't need in there. See, that's way too much water, even though that wasn't a lot. It's still too much. So when you see this, are you like, oh my gosh, it shrunk up so much?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so I wouldn't worry about it until after it dries.
Right, and that's the thing. We, like I said, we were doing it the same way and then drying at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was so much shrinkage that I started like drying the
Mm-hmm.
sections like as I did the gel.
Yeah.
But I think yours is much, and it could be that gel versus the one we're using.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Looks much more moist. When I'm doing hers, it looks much drier.
Mm-hmm. And everything, and a lot of people think, not you, but a lot of people think it's the holding product, but it's everything prior to.
Yep.
Everything that we did prior to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't mention holding products too much
Right.
on here. Like I'll mention the shampoo and the conditioner because those are essential. Like that is the foundation.
But I might be drying her hair too much.
Oh yeah,
before
yeah.
I put the product in.
You can come feel it.
I could see
Feel?
it.
Okay, yeah.
I could see like.
And there might be a little too much
Yeah.
water in there.
Yeah.
If it's cool to the touch, there's too much water. Yep, I would just let it dry as is, shrunken and everything. Because you're able to stretch it.
Right, just kind of like how we do the stretch in the morning to refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's too moist. There's too much water in there. So my store is in the about section on YouTube, and I'll take them out of inventory tonight. The shampoo that I use, your foundation matters, so your clarifying shampoo. Malibu shampoos, their clarifier and their hydrating shampoo. Those are also in my store. Not on Amazon, in my own store.
And they've made a huge difference. Those.
Don't they make a difference?
Huge.
Yeah. People don't buy into
her
it.
Hair,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, you use such a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper. Like it seems more
Overall,
expensive.
right? Yeah.
Like you look at the price, you're like, oh, it's expensive, but it's not because it's so concentrated. Like you said, we hardly used any. You'd blow through the other stuff.
Yeah.
In no time.
Because people go.
Yeah, so it seems like, it's way cheaper, but it's not.
No, it isn't.
Because you're using so much more.
And it's still not giving you, using more, it's still not giving you the results that you need.
Exactly. Like you see the difference in her hair already.
Some people, when they leave, they're like, I'll take the brush and the gel. I'm like, okay. I'm like, don't use what you have at home, but but I ship too. So I don't know if people can see this. So let's see if I can. Let me have you tilt slightly that way. All right. So if you look at her curls here, lots of shine. But if you see it here, I always put 4C in the title. So people, because people want the information. But people see her hair here and they're like, oh, she has 4C hair. But once it's curly and defined and they see the shine, they're like, oh, that's not 4C. That's like 3C, 4A. That's why typing, it doesn't doesn't work. And I'm editing, like it's in my book currently now, but I break it down like why it doesn't work and why it was created.
No, when I first started trying to figure out what her hair was, like what type and everything, it would be like I'd look at one chart and one information, I'd be like, oh, she's this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's this.
Nope.
Oh, no, she's this. And then I was like,
once the hair is hydrated,
right.
yeah, once hair is hydrated and it's styled differently, the curl looks different.
Yeah, yeah.
And as it grows, see how it's like more spiral?
Yeah.
It might elongate.
Correct. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Those are so gorgeous.
Yep. And then we're going to stretch it out so it'll look more like this as opposed to that.
Yep. How's it going for you, Francesca?
Is your neck okay?
Yeah, but
okay. You got like 1 minute?
Oh,
You're like, I got 1 minute on my neck.
You okay? Is your neck
okay? You're going to sit up anyway.
But I can't, like...
Oh, that's all right. You'll survive without playing the game.
I'm like, what? So,
my neck's fine, but I can't play my game.
Yeah. So what I also noticed, this helps too, putting everything that you worked on together. So there's not a whole lot of airflow.
Gotcha.
While you're working on the rest.
Yeah.
Because it's just absorbing, because this gel has aloe in it, it's absorbing the moisture in the air.
Gotcha.
So I like to gather everything. And some people are like, oh my God, all that work that was done. This actually helps to keep the gel together.
Yeah.
And we'll do the edges after.
Now,
all right, you can sit right up.
Like, well, you'll see when we start.
No, like, relax still, but here,
relax,
let me have, yeah. Yeah, see how wet that is? It's because all that water drained to the back. That's why I start from the front.
Oh, gotcha. That's funny because I always start from the back and I work my way.
Yeah,
like
and I usually, and that's how I started. But I realized I'm like, okay, it's science, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything that you did in the back, it's gonna be diluted.
Yeah.
Even if she's sitting up, it's
yeah.
still gonna dilute all that holding product. Look feel how wet that is.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did I do with all the? I gotta grab more clips. I love these clips. They stopped selling these, so these were like the best for home use. So this is way too much water. I'm gonna wring it out a little bit. You can't really see it, but there's some drippage, but blotted. It's not gonna take the cream out, but it's taking the moisture, the excess moisture out. And everything that I use in the salon and I have retail, it's going to be in the guide. I'm editing the 3rd edition, but you can purchase it now. And whoever purchases it will get a discount on the newer version. That includes everything. So yeah, it should be sticky tacky. You want to feel it? Not like super sticky tacky, because sometimes there's too much. When you know there's too much, it really will be really sticky.
What was happening was with that other gel.
The Eco?
Not the Eco, the one before that.
Okay.
That was more tacky. It was drying more. And she came home the next day. She had like flakes everywhere. It was like, what
yeah, flaky.
She's like, oh, I touched my hair,
and that shouldn't happen.
And then the gel was flaking. You know, it was like the
like
gel.
hair boogers.
Yeah, it was like because the gel was like drying, breaking, like crusting almost. Like it felt sticky, and then it was like crusty. It was gross. Eco didn't do that, but it didn't have the hold. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you need the both.
And
you need like
yeah.
the marriage of the two, which is what this did, because last time, like when you did it, just even the small section,
it stayed nicely, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It was like you could see the difference with this gel.
And even with Eco, when you go to rinse it out or wash the hair, you see all this ooze come out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what was it really doing?
Yeah, and that's why her first wash, we never get the lather, because it's all
That buildup.
that buildup coming out.
Yeah, so like mine with fine string. So even with ripple textures, she's not as ripple, but you would do the same exact thing that I'm doing, because she has a tight fine curl, like her texture is tight and she has fine strands. You're going to do the same thing with ripple textures. The only thing with her flat and smooth texture or outer texture is she has more flexibility in products. Not much, because she has a tight curl. So with her, basically, it's just taking less time to apply product. And you don't have to break it down as much. And, humectant gels. So with humectant gels, obviously it doesn't work on a lot of people. Especially tight curls. Most tight curls, I notice that we have more ripple textures. But humectant gels were supposed to lend hold and moisture, but that's not what it does for tighter ripple textures. It's only lending the moisture. But it's like, you don't need moisture when you're styling, because everything you did prior to styling moisturized the hair for the week. We want longevity when we're styling. And that's why silicone exists. I mean, not that you have to have silicone in these products, but say you're going to a wedding or something, you want your hair to last, so you'll put hairspray on. And I felt that it was cool to the touch, so I blotted that. We're going to break that down. You're starting with your tools, finishing with your fingers. And then putting that aside. Yeah, so you'll receive an email with the discount for the book. I know it's taking me so long because I'm adding things to it, and I had a meeting with a coach. So I'm adding a component for the visual learners. So I'll have audio and I'm not reading the book, but I'll have some audio components to it. Because not everyone wants to just read. So of course it will still be interactive, but I'll be talking to you as well. So look at that. Mm-hmm. So that's what happens when you start from the back. That imagine if you started and you're like, oh my God, now it's wet all over again. Yeah, it is easier starting from the back. It's easier, but then it's like, it's less work over the whole styling session. And you'll realize with the back, it's actually easier anyway. The hair texture is different. Don't you hate that? It's like our pants get
Yeah.
away from us.
It's like, no, you belong up here.
So much water.
Who drew these pictures?
My son did years ago.
Aria, you should draw a picture for her.
Oh
Aria's
yeah.
an amazing drawer. It's her new thing she loves to do.
Do you do digital yet?
Like digital drawing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, but I'm not that good at it.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Practice.
And she also does a lot of stop motion video making.
Oh my
She
gosh.
loves that. She went to camp for that 1 week this summer.
That's exciting.
Yeah, but she's been doing a lot of the digital drawing now, and she's getting really good with like shading, like as they
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
have really fancy alcohol markers.
get older. Oh yeah, she has these alcohol markers that
Mhm.
are like, it almost like you can blend them
Okay, right.
because of the alcohol. It almost looks like watercolors when you're
Oh,
done.
nice.
But they bleed through everything, so you got to be careful.
So I was watching a cosplay video. Someone actually used alcohol markers to color synthetic hair.
Oh
I'm
wow.
like, ooh, what a great idea. This is where usually people go wrong, but you break your sections down, which that's good. A lot of people don't break their sections down.
Yeah, I first part her hair into like 4 bigger sections, like 2 front, 2 back, and then I take each of those sections and then
Yeah.
kind of break pieces out and do that.
And that should work. Yep.
Yeah.
And I would tie
then-
up the section that you
That's
work
what I do.
with.
So I do the 4 bigger, and then when I break out a piece like what you have or even smaller, then I have another smaller clip that holds the rest
Oh,
of
okay.
that.
And the stuff you
together.
already worked with, you're clipping that up too?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But that I will now.
Yeah, I would
yes.
clip it up.
Well, but remember, I moved to drying as I go.
Oh,
so
yeah.
now
Oh, my
I'll-
gosh. You probably... Oh, you
change
said it
that.
only took 45 minutes?
40 minutes. Yeah, it's not
Wow.
that bad because her hair dries quickly.
Yeah, so
But it's probably too much direct heat if it's drying that quickly.
No. That's
Like
still,
I would do a section like this,
That's still...
and then but I was
that's
stretching
still
it.
indirect heat.
Like
'cause
I
it's
was
not
like
right on.
like how you are right now,
Like that, and then
and
you would
then
dry it.
Yup,
Say if you want... I mean...
and then it wouldn't shrink.
If you want the curl like this, you can, but then it's gonna be all stiff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
then, but I wouldn't have the shrinkage then.
Yeah.
But you're saying deal
But
with the
it's
shrinkage
fine.
later.
Yeah, I would deal with it later because of. Look, I missed the. Did I miss? No, I didn't. Let me see. No, I sure did miss this one. I'm like, it's definitely different. I thought I didn't miss it, but I did miss this section. Hi, how are you?
Is it a no drink rule?
You can drink.
Oh, okay.
What are you drinking? No,
I
I'm
was
kidding.
gonna say.
I'm joking.
Did you bring drinks for everyone?
Huh?
Yeah, this is the place. This is the place. I'm here. Is it? I tried calling because I'm trying to quickly eat some pizza.
You can eat it here if you
Are
want.
in here?
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
okay, I
want
didn't
to.
know. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Oh, she here next.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It worked out because she'll be under the dryer now because we already caught her. We caught her first.
Mm-hmm. She had beautiful curls.
Oh, I couldn't see because these are my readers.
Oh,
COVID did this to me. So see, I felt the difference in this section. Like there's still curl, but I felt that
well,
difference.
You could see to the
I'm like,
shine
oh, I
to
missed
it,
this
yeah.
too. I usually don't pie the sections like
Yeah.
that. So you want to use your fine comb. And then, like, I'm not satisfied with how much that is poofing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would add a little bit of gel. Split it. Then when you're finished, let me have you sit up a little bit. Okay, now let me have you lay your head all the way back.
We went from really big hair to really little hair.
But we're gonna stretch it too. So the edges, I always do the edges last because it's drier. That's okay if it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I use the gel. Put it right to the edge. That way it doesn't revert because it's drier. Ooh. And I use a comb because you have more control. I wouldn't use a edge control brush.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's like a boar bristle brush and it's pulling at the edges. I mean, you can get fancy. I don't. You want to kind of make it seamless.
See how you have so much like gel pieces?
Yep, that's okay because we're always finished with your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna flake. It might flake day 5 because her ends are or her edges are drier, but it might not. So what you would do is take a wet washcloth or damp and kind of wipe it away, then reapply some gel. Then I'll show you one more thing. So after you do the edges, see how seamless that is? I would take a little gel. Now this brand says to emulsify it first, but you're introducing too much moisture and air into the hair. So the gel's already on there, so I'm just emulsifying it a little bit and then kind of going through.
Okay, so like one.
Especially with the older, with the more porous ends, you want to just smooth that out.
You're like just doing more of a finger comb with a little bit.
Yeah, like big sections.
Yeah.
And I kept it this way instead of like apart or something because her hair's shorter in the front. So this way you can kind of pull back one side or the other. Okay, let me have you sit all the way up. And you probably don't have to be this meticulous, but you can. See how this wants to tangle up? Because those ends are still there, but we'll get rid of that in time. All right, so now she's gonna dry under heat. All right, you're gonna pop in the chair closest to us on the end there. Okay, so I'll come back